This episode of Penn Point starts right now. This episode of Penn Point is brought to you by HostGator. Okay, I gotta talk about Nicholson Baker's book, House of Holes, a book of raunch. Nicholson Baker is, to my mind, the greatest living writer. I have a soft spot for Melville, but Melville's dead. I first read Nicholson Baker's The Mezzanine, and thought it was one of the greatest books I ever read. Blew my mind completely. And Nicholson Baker, I also read Room Temperature and You and I. And then I've also talked here about Human Smoke, which is a pacifist book about World War II. And if you haven't read Human Smoke, it'll break your heart. It'll hurt you. It'll hurt you badly, and it'll change you. And for those of you who think that World War II is, a good war and Vietnam was a bad war, read Human Smoke. But Nicholson Baker on House of Holes has written pornography. And I was gonna read some examples of it to you here, but I don't think I'm gonna, because they're all over the web. You can check them out. And he does this weird kind of, women fucking trees and long blowjob walls and cocks being changed from one person to another, and porn monsters that are covered with spurting dicks, and the women in it are really sexual. And it's this place called House of Holes, and it's amazing. It's really fucking amazing, because sex is so compelling, and Nicholson Baker is our best writer. And if you think it's hard to write about love, it's even harder to write about sex. Everybody's covered it. Everybody has opinions on it. And he is able to give angles to hardcore sex stuff, images and emotions that are really outside of what I felt during sex. And I felt a lot of different things during sex. And I'm so grateful to Nicholson Baker that I'm a fan of his. Because when I was young, I was fans of a lot of people. I mean, anything Lou Reed put out, I would just buy. Anything David Bowie put out, I would just buy. Zappa, Dylan, the Beatles, I would just buy it. And I didn't spend any time at all trying to think about whether it was good or bad, or even whether I liked it. I didn't care about that at all. The Beatles' White Album came out when I was very young, and I put that on and it was the Beatles, so I was going to like it. I was going to learn about it. And when Revolution #9 came on, and it was just this collection of tapes and sounds, I didn't say I don't like music concrete. I didn't say I want something more tuneful. I didn't say not to my style. I listened to it. I listened to it like 100, 200, 300 times, because that's what I did with Beatle records. And the same thing, when Dylan would come out with Hurricane or one of those things, I would just listen and study and pay attention. And I spent a lot of time listening and thinking about it before I spent any time judging. And as I've gotten older and my time has shrunk up and I have children and jobs and responsibilities, I don't do that as much. I listen to everything by Sun Ra. 80 gig is Sun Ra. I listen to everything by Sun Ra. I listen to, anything Neil Young comes out with, anything Bob Dylan comes out with. I try to listen to a few new bands. I love this band called Hold Steady. I guess they're not that new, but I've been listening to them a lot. Drive-By Truckers, also not new, but I love them. But I don't really do that. I will listen to this 100 times before I think about it at all. And Nicholson Baker may be the one person in my life that when something comes out by him, I just read it. And I don't read like the first few pages and say, do I like this? How is it? Is it well done? What does it mean to me? I just read it, because I know that whatever Nicholson Baker does is going to change who I am. You start his books one way, you end his books another way. At the end, you are a different person. He just gives you that. He beats you up and turns you into a different person. And this book, Nicholson Baker, House of Holes, A Book of Raunchy, is exact. You can't even tell what he's doing. He calls his cock his Malcolm Gladwell. I mean, he says like, prick, pussy cunt. He just puts these words. Maybe I will pull out something. I mean, I have it right here, right? I'll pull out something right here from, here we go. You're so damn pretty, I can barely swallow my own spit. You know what I mean? That's Dylan quality. That's Dylan quality. Let me read this to you, okay? He went into the changing room and stuffed his ball sack into the pouch and tied the waistband to the suit. It looked pretty good, but it felt strange, as if his testicles were trying to sing the song about a horse with no name. Now, I'm just picking these at random, okay? Here's one. I never felt so full of anything in my life. It was like a complete Thanksgiving dinner of cock. It was like the god of pleasure had punched me in the pussy. Really, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Look at this. She circled her nipples with it, and they began speaking to her in an odd kind of braille. Come on, come on. Two headless men could come and take me away to be reversibly castrated. My testicles would live in a little mesh bag in a special lobster tank filled with a charged nutrient broth. Nicholson Baker, House of Holes, A Book of Raunchy. The motherfucker is the best writer we have. Looking for a place to launch a blog or website? Frustrated with customer support at your current hosting provider? Go to HostGator and get up and running in minutes. With plans starting at just $3.96 a month. You get top-rated 24/7 customer service, access to tools including a website builder with over 4,000 templates. HostGator will even migrate your current site for free. Servers are 130% powered by wind energy. It's completely green web hosting. Unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth. 45-day money-back guarantee. $100 Google AdWords credit to market your website. Right now, for Revision 3 viewers, HostGator is offering 25% off your order or your first month free. Go to www.hostgator.com, enter the code PennPointRev3. Penn Point Rev 3, PennPointRev3 at checkout to get your discount.